Welcome back, everybody. We're here to pull cards for September the 23rd. I am going to be pulling one card for overall energy. After that, we'll be looking at one card for each sign and see where we end up with our predictions. So, if you know your rising sign, you can get a lot of juice out of this because that means you know where your houses are. But if you know your sun sign and your friend's sun signs, you can still get quite a bit of good information here. Overall energy shows up as the Three of Swords in reverse. This is one of those cards I would much rather see in reverse than any other way. And so, Three of Swords in reverse just says that we are getting over or getting beyond some kind of heartache or heartbreak. So, we're not letting that hold us back or hold us down anymore. This can be happening because we're having a talk with somebody or we're communicating with somebody who has caused some kind of heartache or heartbreak. Or this could be that we're doing our own mental and emotional or spiritual healing to get beyond this heartache or heartbreak. We could be doing our own self work. What a novel thought that would be, right? Let me make sure I stuck my phone on silent. I don't want it going off in the middle of. There we go. Sorry about that. I forgot to do that ahead of time. So let's look at each sign and see how this plays out, starting with Aries. Ace of Pentacles showing up in reverse. Aries, this really says that you're probably doing some self work here. Ace of Pentacles says that, in reverse, says that somebody's done something that could be taken to cause some kind of insult or injury, and you're just giving this person grace, basically. You're not gonna dwell on this and make it into a heartache or a heartbreak. You're gonna just, instead of, jumping on this person and throwing them down on the sidewalk and smacking them silly, you're gonna give them grace and you're gonna just think to yourself, well, I don't know what they're dealing with in their life. Maybe, they have some extenuating circumstances that are making them act this way. And so, that doesn't really necessarily like let them off the hook, so to speak, or justify what they did, but it just says, I'm not going to go to that place where I'm going to take on that burden of hurt or injury just because somebody else is, having a rough day and feels like throwing out some kind of slop. All right. So that's what we have going on with Aries. We like that nice, healthy way to deal with the situation. So it's not only that you're getting over some kind of heartache or heartbreak, like you're just not even letting that take a root in you. Boop ba da doo doo, Taurus. Prince of Pentacles in reverse. So, Taurus, we are getting over some kind of heartache or heartbreak. The heartache or heartbreak that we're getting over has to do with money or finances or material goods. So, possibly has to do with investments. So, there may have been some kind of bad news about investments or finances or some type of material goods. Um, and so, we are getting past whatever heartache or heartbreak that news brought to us. All right, next up, we're looking at. Oh, I like that actually. Next, we're looking at Gemini. Strength card. Woohoo! We like this. So, Gemini strength card, you guys are getting over some kind of heartache or heartbreak. And part of the way you're getting over that is understanding your own self-worth and understanding more fully your own self-esteem. How you view yourself is helping you to get over that heartache or heartbreak. So, Gemini, somebody may have said something to you that had you doubting yourself. Now you're realizing, "Pff, whatever. I know who I am." All right, next up, let's look at Cancer. Cancer, Cancer. Nine of Wands. Now, this is interesting. Cancers, this tells me that you're making some kind of preparations to get over a heartache or heartbreak. So, if something happened that made you feel sad or upset, you are doing something in preparation to turn that situation around in some way. Whether it's literally to take that situation and flip it 180, or whether you're making preparations to find a better situation Either way, you're making preparations to get beyond some kind of heartache or heartbreak. Next up, we're looking at Leo. Leo, Leo. Get rid of my screensaver so I can see what I'm doing here. 5 of Cups. Showing up for you, Leos. Do, 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 do. Leos, you did have something go on that it caused some disappointment. And the idea that we have the Three of Swords, even in reverse, with the Five of Cups tells me this was kind of a big deal. This really impacted you big time. And getting over it, getting beyond this, is going to impact you big time as well, only in a positive way. It's going to help you get your mojo back as you go through your life. I like that. Virgo, 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 Virgo. Ace of Cups coming up in reverse. Somebody showed you their true colors, Virgo, and when you saw those true colors, ooh, your opinion of them slid right down a few notches. And so this is getting over the heartache or the heartache of that realization. This is a card that for me, it really is, it carries a lot of the same energy of that moment. Usually when we're a kid, somewhere between 9 and 12-ish, maybe even into teenagerdom, that moment where we realize that one or both of our parents is not perfect. You know, we kind of think we kind of grow up with them as the perfect. We set them as the normal, and we expect them to keep us safe from everything and to know everything and to be everything we need them to be. And then there comes a point where we see that, you know, that parent or those parents are just as human as we as little kids are. And so it's really kind of this, when the pedestal comes out from under the parents, it's really this like disappointment of, oh my gosh, this was my standard. My standard is not perfect. So that's what this energy always kind of reminds me of. It reminds me of that feeling of, whoa, I thought that I could really count on this, but there's a flaw here or there, or there's a crack here or there. So it definitely does not have to be about parents or kids or whatever, but this can be somebody else that you had on a pedestal that you've realized, whoa, I see their true colors. I see that they're human. I see that they have flaws. I see that maybe they're not always honest, or maybe they are never on time, or whatever it is. Um, whatever it is, then you're getting over that initial response of, oh my gosh, that's such that's so disappointing. I thought they were wonderful. They are wonderful. They're just also human. And you're getting to that point where you're recognizing that. All right, next we're looking at Libra. Princess of Wands showing up in reverse. Libra, this is interesting. Is this Libra or somebody else? This is somebody else has told you that, they're just really not interested in moving forward with one of your ideas, something that you felt really inspired about. They have no energy around. And I think that hurt, that cut is what I'm hearing. That hurt. And now you're getting beyond that hurt. You're starting to realize, well, maybe they were right. Maybe there's other things that I could do that would be inspiring. Next up, we're looking at Scorpio, 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 or Libras. It could be that, you can do this thing with somebody else that would be a better fit. That could be coming up as well. Okay, so moving back on to Scorpio's card, we have the Princess of Cups. Now, isn't this interesting? Hmm. I know what this is. At least for me, I know what this is. So this is really an ironic card to have showing up with us. You guys are all going to have to figure out where it plays out in your life. But with the Princess of Cups, we have somebody letting us know how much they appreciate us. And we're actually getting over that like it's a bad thing. Okay. So I can tell you that at least in my situation, and I think this is going to hold true for a lot of us, when we have somebody expressing how they feel about us, we know right off the bat that this is some BS coming out of them. This is some BS. This does not line up with anything they've ever said before. Does not line up with any of their actions before. And so this may be really throwing us for a loop whenever they say this. I think that most of us Scorpios are going to be going straight to, okay, what's their ulterior motive? What do they want? And so we are going to be getting over this idea that somebody has come to us um, expressing how they feel with us in a very, and expressing some very positive things that just are very incongruent with what has happened in the past. So incongruent. It's really unbelievable. All right, so let's look at Sagittarius. Sagittarius. High Priest showing up in reverse for Sagittarius. Sagittarius, what you're getting over or letting go of is that somebody gave you some bad advice. And I think that you followed it and it led you down a path that you really didn't want to go and caused some heartache or heartbreak. And so you're getting over that heartache or heartbreak now. You may be forgiving that person for giving bad advice. You may be forgiving yourself for taking that bad advice or even for going to that person for advice. But you're doing something to get over that heartache or heartbreak that was caused by the bad advice. Capricorn, you're up next. I think you guys got this card yesterday, didn't you? Somebody did. Maybe it was Pisces. Anyway, so new news for Capricorn. It is actually the Capricorn Mojo card. When this card comes up, it says, this is my mojo. Each sign has a major arcana card that associates with it, and for Capricorn, so Nunez is it. So that it comes up in your own place tells me that you are operating in your own mojo now, and you're operating in your own mojo because you are getting beyond or getting over some kind of past hurt or injury or wound. Okay, whether that's physical or emotional. All right, next up we are looking at, man, my lighting is really jacked up today, guys. I apologize. Next up we're looking at Aquarius. Prince of Cups showing up in reverse. Aquarius, there was some kind of situation where for a lot of you, you wanted to do something romantic and that plan got thrown, whether it was because the other person, um, something came up and they couldn't do that romantic thing with you, or whether it was because something came up for you and you couldn't do it, or the other person wasn't receptive, or whatever, something about that got thrown. Now, for others of you, this isn't really about romance at all. This is just, I wanted to go do something with a friend that was happiness making, or I wanted to go do something for myself that was happiness making. Either way, this talks about doing something that's happiness making, that's kind of chill, that's just allows you to breathe and to revitalize, but it didn't go down the way that you wanted it to. Whether it was with another person, by yourself, whatever, it didn't actually happen. And so what we're seeing here today is you're getting over that. You're getting beyond that. You may be going and doing something else. You may be doing, like rain check plans, or, you may be doing something just for yourself to revitalize. And this is allowing you to get over the heartache of the idea that it didn't happen before. All right, let's look at Pisces. Pisces, y'all have the Justice card in reverse. This is telling me that whatever this heartache or hurt that you're getting over from before is one that has to do with somebody making a decision that influenced you that was not made really in a fair way. It was made from a biased point of view or a corrupted point of view. Maybe somebody didn't really have all the information and they thought they did. Maybe somebody just was biased. So, but this is what we see you getting over today, is the idea that that decision was made and that it was yucky and it influence your life in a nice, positive, moving direction. But you are getting over that. You're moving forward. You are finding other things to be happy about. And I think you're letting somebody off the hook here as well. So maybe forgiving somebody or not really, you know, holding their feet to the fire on this. Maybe you're forgiving yourself for whatever your part was in this. If you even had a part in this, a lot of times we don't with justice in reverse. It's not biased, so there's not a lot we could have done. Either way, you're just letting it go, and that's allowing you to find more happiness in your life. Okay. So that's what we have for everybody. It's actually pretty good news. Maybe not the most comfortable thing to experience, but pretty good news that we're moving forward in a productive and more healthy way. So I'm very happy about this today. Everyone, thank you very much for stopping by and hanging out with me. I do appreciate all of your precious time. Of course, remember you guys are my sponsors. Thumbs up on this video, share it out to the world if you think it could be helpful to somebody else, and put comments down below. Give me some feedback. All that stuff helps me to reach more people, and the more people I reach, the happier I am. Of course, also I am doing readings and Reiki sessions today. So if you want one of those, you want to get a hold of me, I am doing those by phone or online. All my contact information is on my website right there. And so all you have to do is just reach out. We'll get you scheduled and taken care of pretty quickly. Everybody have a fantastic day. Peace out.